Welcome back. In this video today, we're going to cover a subject that a lot of students seem to struggle with needlessly, and that is how to format your essay according to a prescribed editing style, a prescribed style. In AP Lang, I have a very strict set of guidelines for formatting the essays that you turn in to me, and these guidelines are based on the Modern Language Association's style book, which is a type of formatting that many college professors are going to require that you follow when you turn in your essays. And oftentimes these professors aren't going to just take off points if you don't format your essay properly. They'll just chuck it in the garbage and say you got a 0 because you didn't take the time to format it properly. And as I said at the very beginning, this is kind of a needless problem that students have, because if you just pay a little bit of attention, just give it a little bit of time, you'll do it perfectly, and you'll do it. It'll just become second nature to you. The students who don't take the time to format their essays, they're just giving away points that are free, basically. So I wanted to do a video with you just to show you not just what those guidelines are for formatting your essay, but how to do them in Microsoft Word 2010, which all of our school computers have this year. All right, to start off, you should have this document, Formatting Essays for AP Lang. This is a document you need to keep with you at all times this year. Anytime that you have an essay to turn in to me that is an out-of-class essay, that is not a timed essay, you must follow these guidelines, or else you will be deducted serious points from your essay. So let's take a look really quickly, just to give you some context on the matter. Let's take a look at a couple of essays. Just look at them. Don't try to read them. Just look at them. Which one of these essays do you think that was turned in to me would naturally get just a higher score? Yeah, it's the one on the right. The one on the right obviously looks more professional. The one on the left looks like a middle school student who, just figured out what fonts were, typed it up, and sent it to me. This does not look professional. When was the last time you read an essay that was center justified like that? It's not a poem. You gotta love the little exclamation point here and the wonderfully festive title line. Oh, yeah, smileys. Oh, yes. You gotta love the smiley. It definitely makes me smile. But this is not professional. I want to give this paper a D just to start with, because this student doesn't have any discipline. This student doesn't have any kind of a critical eye. Whereas this student, on the other hand, this student not only took the time to write a great essay, but took the time to make sure that it looked clean, that it looked neat. So that's the whole point of establishing these essay guidelines. Your college professors are going to expect this, and so you need to get in the habit of doing this. So let's take a look at a sample essay that needs some work. Now, let's take a look at this messy essay. And we're going to show you how to format it for submission according to the AP Lang guidelines. The first thing, paper format. Make sure that if you print or submit your paper digitally, that you always have it on standard 8.5 by 11 paper size. Please don't try some funky legal paper size or anything like that. Next thing, we want to establish a consistent font throughout our entire paper. Okay, a consistent font. So to do that, I'm going to use Control A to select everything. And then I'm going to change the font to the font that I want you to use, which is Times New Roman, a font that's been around forever, even before they were called fonts probably, Times New Roman. And I want the whole essay to be 12-point Times New Roman. Next, you know what, next, I'm getting rid of this darn smiley face because that's just bothering me. Make sure that you delete any kind of clip art or any other garbage that just doesn't belong in your essay. Please don't include any symbols in your name. It's not cute, it just looks silly. So, now that we've got a standard font throughout, we want to make a standard spacing throughout. Okay, standard spacing. We want our paper double spaced throughout with no extra spaces. So, to start, I'm going to do Select All once again, Control A. And I'm going to go up here to this button, line spacing, and select 2.0. This double spaces my entire essay. Now, we still have some more work to do with it, but this at least gets us started. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and eliminate some of that extra spacing. First of all, you don't need any extra spacing throughout your essay. It should just be double spaced throughout the whole darn thing. Now, there's a default setting on Microsoft Word these days that defaults and gives you a paragraph spacing. Now, we want to take out that paragraph spacing. We want 0 paragraph spacing. And to do that, to change your paragraph spacing, go up here to your ribbon and click Page Layout. And you see right here, spacing before 0, after 10. Ooh, we want to take out that 10 and make it just 0. All right. You can see that we've got some extra spaces in here now that we can just delete. This student tried to put an extra space between their title and the start of their essay. That's a no-no. We just want the standard double space, no extra spacing. No extra spacing between paragraphs either. Oh, this essay is going to take a lot of work, but we'll get through it. All right. The next thing that we need to do is make sure that the body of our essay is left justified, like you would normally write. Anyone in the Western world, anyway, would normally write. So we're going to select the body of our essay. Oh, I found another piece of clip art. God, this is garbage. Okay. And we're going to left justify that essay. Now that should have corrected our funny little first paragraph that that was all center justified. Now, with our text still highlighted, I want to go ahead and make sure that my indentation is correct. Remember, you should always indent the beginning of a new paragraph. So there's a quick way to do this in Microsoft Word rather than just going into the start of each paragraph and hitting Tab. Okay? You can right-click on the text and select Paragraph, or you can go up here on your ribbon and select this little option for paragraph options. Here under Indentation and Special Indentation, here we go. Select first line, and we want ½ inch. We want 0.5 inches for a first line indentation. All right, click OK. Now, every paragraph begins with that wonderful ½ inch indentation. Sorry, I'm still cleaning up some of these extra spaces. And, let's kill that while we're here. There we go. Excellent. Another extra space. Wow. All right. Now, we're getting pretty close. This is starting to look pretty darn clean, but it's still not great. There's something still a little off. Make sure that your title is always centered. Okay? Don't ever, when you're centering your title, don't ever... You can hear my spacebar. Don't ever do that. That's such a waste of energy, and it's really hard to align it perfectly. To center anything in Microsoft Word, just go up here to the center text option. Click that, and it's centered perfectly. Okay. Something else that is really jumping out at me right here is the margins. The margins. Have you noticed as we're scrolling through here, the margins are kind of off. We've got 1 inch on this side, 1.5 inch on this side. We need to unify that. And MLA style, for MLA style, okay, we need to have 1 inch margins all the way around. So to change your margin, okay, click on Page Layout and click on Margins. Now you should have an option for this normal margin here, this 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. That's what you want. Click on that. Now my whole paper from, if you check on your rulers, is 1 inch space from the top, 1 inch space from the bottom, 1 inch space from the side, from the left side, 1 inch space from the right side. Oh, by the way, if you don't see your rulers in Microsoft Word, to get your rulers, click on View, and then make sure this little box next to Ruler is checked. Okay. Now we need to do some of the very sophisticated things involving our headers and our headings to make sure that our paper looks right for submission. Now that it looks neat, we need to make it look perfect. First things first, your header should always be left justified. Or excuse me, your heading should always be left justified. And it should include several different things. Your heading should include your name, followed by your instructor's name, followed by the name of the class. Oh, that's almost right. We are English language and composition, not to be confused with the other languages in composition. And then finally, today's date. Okay. To do today's date, you can just type it in, but I want to show you this little feature, the Insert Date and Time feature. If you click on Insert, you can make it insert your date for you. You have a number of different options here. The option that I want you to use is this funny little option here. Kind of funny to our American eyes, but this is actually kind of I guess a more European way of putting the date or printing your date. And this is actually what MLA prescribes, the date, month, year format. So I just insert that. There we go, just like that. So make sure that when you are typing up your essay and finalizing it, make sure that in your heading you have your name, your instructor's name, the name of the course, and the date in this format, that date, month, year format. All right, there's only a couple more things we need to do. This paper needs a header. This is the heading. Your paper also needs a header that contains the page number and your last name. So to create a header in Microsoft Word, you need to go to Insert, which is where we just were, and click on Header. And don't try to use any of these built-in or template headers. Just go all the way down here to Edit Header. Excellent. Now here, this header, whatever we type here is going to appear on every subsequent page. So to start, we want our header to be right justified. The header should appear in the upper right-hand corner. Your header should always start with your last name, and then a space, and then should be followed by the page number. Now, remember I said just a minute ago that this will appear on every page. If you type page 1 here, guess what? Every page is going to say page 1. You need to use the Insert Page Number feature in Microsoft Word. So click on Insert, then click on Page Number, click on Top of Page, and you can just click on plain number 3 because that has it justified all the way to the right side. Oh, if you do it that way, it takes away your name. That's okay. Just put your name back in there. All right. One last thing you want to do is the header, change its font to the same font as the rest of our paper. Times New Roman 12-point font. And make sure you eliminate any incidental spaces that we might have accidentally thrown in there. All right. Now that we're done with our header, you can just double-click anywhere else in the paper to get out of your header, and look. Go down here to the next page. We have the second page off. Good. Our last name, page 2. Last name, page 3. Excellent. That's exactly how it should look. So our paper is almost completely ready for submission. There's one last thing that I'm sure you've been seeing this whole time that's bothering you. That's the title. Ugh, what an awful title. Anytime you turn in a paper to any academic setting, don't just retitle it what the assignment is called. Don't do that. Give it a title. You don't have to break your brain coming up with the coolest title ever. Just something nice and simple. Okay? This particular essay is about Jonathan Swift's Modest Proposal and how the rhetoric he used was he mocked a very subtle rhetoric that he was using. So I could call this the not so subtle, whoops, missed a hyphen, rhetoric of Jonathan Swift. That didn't take me so long. That wasn't so difficult. I basically just looked at what the subject of my paper was, kind of looked at my thesis, and pulled a title out of that. That's all it really needs to be. Please, whatever you do, when you're coming up with a title, please don't do anything cliche like a play on Hamlet's to be or not to be, you know, to persuade or not to persuade. Oh my God, if I had a nickel for every one of those titles that I've seen on students' papers, I would probably beat myself to death with the bag of nickels. I'm just tired of it. Okay, so please come up with something that is at least original. You know, it doesn't have to be super creative, but it does need to not be cliche. It doesn't. It shouldn't be just the title of the assignment. All right, this looks pretty good. This looks very good. This is the kind of student whose paper I actually want to read because this student took the time to actually format it properly. That tells me that this student is serious about their work. And remember what I say in class all the time, it's all about ethos. It's all about building ethos. So thanks for watching this video. That's about it for formatting your paper according to MLA style, according to the standards for AP Lang. Please watch future videos and please subscribe to my YouTube channel to see those videos regularly.